Hey guys, welcome back. So I am going to finally finish off this drawing for the February Color Pencil Magazine monthly challenge. I have had it sitting in my room for a couple of days, I think maybe even more than a week. I think I started like right at the beginning of the month and then I just didn't get to finishing it. So we will finish it today. We've done most of the bulk work, I guess, so now it's just a matter of doing the detailing of the tray and the chocolates. So I already know that I want to go much darker on the tray. Actually, the tray is pretty dark. So before I start, let me say hello to everybody. I try to go without my glasses today, but I just can't, so you'll just have to deal with the reflections on my face. Yesterday my eyes were killing me after the stream, so I was like, nah, just don't do it. Hey Maureen, hey Heather, hey Jackie, Sandra, Tracy, Luella, Crystal, Majine, hey guys, Barb, Madden, welcome guys. Okie dokie, so I'm gonna start straight up. So for those that don't know, this is part 3 of the real-time drawing that I'm doing for the February Color Pencil Magazine Art Challenge. If you want to know more about that, just check the description. I am just drawing this. I'm not entering this myself, but I'd encourage you guys to draw it and enter it, because then you stand a chance of winning some art gift vouchers or art supplies. Just check the link in the description and that will give you the details on how to enter the challenge yourself, and then give it a go. See, you've got nothing to lose, so may as well. Alrighty, so I'm going to be using my Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils, and I'm going to use the Bister number 047 first, and I want to darken up this whole tray. I'm going to go over those highlights that I created because that's something that you do later once you've established all the values properly. So I'm literally just gonna block in pretty much the whole tray with this color. Yeah, sorry, I don't take on requests for what you guys want to see me draw. I draw what I want to draw, to be very forward. The only requests I take are from my students, and then they have to vote on it as well, so it just makes it fair. So this morning I decided to go shopping for some fruit. So while I had the car, because Vinny's on night shift, so I have the car during the day, and I was like, I need some fruit, I want some fresh fruit. And there's, I don't know what it is, but there's something about buying fresh fruit from the grocery store. You feel so good when you walk out the grocery store and you've taken a whole trolley full of whole food, whole healthy foods, instead of junk food, and then you load it in your car and you're like, yes. I'm doing something good for my body. And I just really wanted some fresh fruit this morning. Plus, we were starting to run out anyways, so that's why I let you guys know on my Facebook page. I'm like, I'm not sure what time I'm starting the stream, but I'm gonna go grocery shopping, have some breakfast, and then I'll start. So there's a good example of why I don't always know what time I would specifically start, because there might be something else I need to do during the day. Okay. So I can see some slight reflections of like red within the tray. So I think I'm going to use a bit of the dark carmine 089 and just in some areas add, that's perfect, add some of the red carmine so it's like it's a reflection from the lid. So we're not doing highlights yet, we're just doing our values and our colors. I'm so glad I actually left this for a couple of days because now I feel like I'll finish it off properly. Whereas if I tried to finish it off in the last session, I would have rushed it and it probably wouldn't have looked as good as what I could have done it. Now I'd like to take a very sharp charcoal grey, number 409. And I need that piece of cellophane back so I don't rub my hand all over the drawing. So I want to create that sort of divide that where the tray is separated within the container that it's sitting in. Pressed a little too hard there, so it broke. So the Pablo pencils feel a fair bit softer than the Polychromos pencils. Initially I thought they were harder, but now the more I'm using them, and I don't know which pencils I was using to make me think that it was harder, but they're not. They are definitely softer than the Polychromos pencils. Okay. And then I'd like to use that dark carmine 089 again, just to emphasize the red next to the tray here. Okay. Right. So now, actually using the charcoal grey. Do I want to use that or black? No, I'm going to use black. So black number 009. And now I want to work on those shadows next to the chocolates. Rook says, Spock and Rosie's parrots are also watching and saying hello. That's so cute. Now I need a slightly lighter brown. I wonder if this will be light enough. Yeah, maybe. So chestnut 057. It's a very subtle highlight, but just some parts of the tray have a lighter sort of brown tinge to it. Yeah, now I'm going to use the Hazel 053. Start working a bit on the chocolates. This is going to be a good color for this chocolate here. There's been quite a few amazing entries thus far already, so it's so nice to see. So even though so many of us are drawing the same thing, every single artwork looks so different to the other, which I love that. I love seeing that. It doesn't matter how many times you use the same reference, each artwork is going to look different. So your work will always, always, always be unique to you. Hey Michael. Michael is asking, do you turn your pencil deliberately every time you lift it off the drawing to keep it sharp, or is it just a habit? I haven't even noticed that I do that. I guess maybe I do that partly to sort of use a sharper end. Maybe? Yes? I didn't realize that I did that. I guess it is just a habit. Rob saying, I've already started the shoes today. Yeah, I saw that. So they, I think they posted on their Facebook page. They posted the challenge for next month already. But the magazine's not out yet, no. So I'm going to do those shoes using a watercolor under painting and then pencils over the top. I think that would be the best way to do that. Watercolor pencil under painting. Now I'm going to use the Charcoal Grey 409 again. Let's get in these darker ones. Dark ones, these ones. Kim asked, do you work dark to light or light to dark? I don't know. I change all the time. I don't... If I'm using watercolor paper, then I'd work from light to dark. But standard paper, I sort of do both. Light to dark, dark to light. It doesn't matter so much with the standard paper, which is what I'm using now. So the materials are in the description of this video. Okay, that caramel color I used before, Hazel 053. So I'm just establishing colors. I'm not detailing yet, quite yet. Because I'm sort of working on the whole drawing at the same time, not just one chocolate at a time. So using cinnamon, Candy Cane is saying I look so adult today. Really? Is that a polite way of saying I look older? Yeah, I cut my fringe yesterday, so it's a change. And it's getting hot. The temperature here in Australia has been so nice the last few days, so today's feels like it's getting a lot warmer again. Hopefully not. It's like in the low 30s or even 20s, so just so nice. Okay, I'm gonna blend the tray in, finish the tray, and then we can work on the chocolates. So I'm just using my zested pencil blend. So dipping my brush in, dabbing off any excess onto a paper towel. And then I'm going to blend the colors of the tray in. That's a much richer color. That's what I want. So it's nice because it's such a nice dark rich color when you add those highlights over the top with the little creases in the tray. It's going to show up even more. Oh, Jackie says Queensland's been pretty hot. New South Wales has been nice. Like, I think the last 2 days we haven't really even had to put the aircon on because the house has been cool enough. But today I think is a different story. Michael is asking, do I use zested for blending? Yes, I do. So that's what I'm using now. So I have my zested in a little bottle like this. It's a bit dirty. Because it's easy to just close the cap. And then I have a piece of paper towel, so I'm always dabbing my brush before I'm applying it to my drawing, so that there's not too much zested on the brush, because you don't need much. So like that's too much. If it moves around too much, you've got too much. Yeah, I think Western Australia is going to get a lot of rain. You guys have a big storm coming. And then Broome has got a big cyclone. I don't know if it's there already or if it's close. So you guys are going to be getting a lot of rain for the next few days. Oh, this tray is looking so smooth. It's gonna be perfect. We can make it really look like plastic. Shiny plastic. Luke says watching chocolates all the time is not a good idea, as have too much chocolates nearby. I know. I did. Like I bought fruit and veg this morning, but I also got some vegan chocolate. So I'll probably be jumping into them soon too. fine brush. Clean it. And I want to sharpen up this edge here. So next month I will still do the Smart Art Box and the Color Pencil Magazine live stream, but apart from that I think it's going to be pretty quiet because I'm starting to do workshops again from the beginning of March onwards. So I'm going to be a bit busy with that on the weekends. So you may not see as much of me. And then of course the usual live streams that I have for my students, subscribers. I think I want to enhance this box a bit. So I'm going to use raspberry red. Enhance the colors of it, should I say. And then with the white, Michael's asking which one's my favorite chocolates. I don't know yet because none of them are looking quite good yet. Maybe once I've added to all the detail I can pick a favorite chocolate. That's if you mean the chocolates in the tray. In terms of favorite chocolate to eat, because I don't eat any dairy, my favorite vegan chocolate is a brand called Sweet Williams. So they're milk chocolate. Well, it's not milk chocolate, but it's very creamy and it just melts in your mouth. And it's hard to find because a lot of vegan chocolates are very bitter and hard and they're much more like a darker chocolate. But I found one. Sweet Williams has one that's very creamy and so nice and dairy free. Okay. Right, so now I think it's going to be pretty fun to do the trays. I'm wondering if I should use the titanium white or a white pencil, because a white pencil is not going to be quite as fine as I'd like it, because my drawing's pretty small. If you look at the size of my hand, it's like a postcard size. Let's do the chocolates first. We'll do that later then. Okay, so now I'm finally going to start working on the details of the chocolates. Let's start with that back one. So I'm using the charcoal grey 409. And blister number 047. Beautiful. And then a bit of the white. Okay, now I'm going to use a tiny brush to blend that all in. So I'm using a 2/0 brush. Hey Christy, have you finished your chocolates? Okay, that looks good. Now, just to add that boost of color back in. So I'm using the Hazel 053. Some of the white. Whatever excess is left on my brush, I sort of just want to smooth that out, make it look like it's a shadow right next to or right beneath the box. And then make sure you have a very clean brush. And just dab the white so it looks a bit smoother. Cool, that looks good. Now, now using some of the Umber 049. Some of those dark shadows in here. Good night, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Valerie. Oh, cool. So Christy says she worked on it a bit this morning. We're about 1 to 2 hours left to go. Yep. Cool. Then a bit of the cinnamon. That looks really nice. Christy says that she overworked the hell out of her chocolates. Tried new paper and it didn't work well for me, but I learned a few new things on fixing things anyways. Yeah, tell us about the paper. Why did you have trouble with the paper? Using the charcoal grey. So Christy used the Strathmore Bristol Plate 500 series. It's definitely made for people who burnish. It's very smooth but thick enough that you thought you could get away with more layers. Ah, interesting. And the Umber 049. Blend that in. Using the umber. Blending that in. Now I think I'm going to use a little bit of the silver grey. Make sure my brush is very clean. Hey Obadiah, saying I'm trying to learn how to use papers. Too often it gets to the point I cannot put any pencil crayon on. I've used Strathmore 400 series. I found it would get shiny and nothing would stick. I haven't tried that paper before. It's too expensive to get here in Australia, or to get them to send it here. So I'm sort of glad that they don't, with the feedback that I'm seeing. Okay, using umber. Moving on to the next chocolate. So I think when we do the highlights of the tray, it's going to bring it all together. I'm using some chestnut. Hazel. Blending that in. Using the whites. Hazel. Charcoal grey. Michael is asking who or what was my inspiration to do art. I would say my inspiration was Lisa and Heather Rooney. And I've always been creative. I just never really decided to put a lot of time into it until 4 years ago. And then I really discovered for myself just how much I enjoy it, so I just kept going with it. That's the short story. I'm using the charcoal grey again, and then the umber, silver grey, blend, yes, I tried the Yupo paper once and I loved it, and I used it with the put pens, the Faber-Castell put pens, and I really enjoyed it, but that's the only time I used it, and I do want to use it again, hopefully soon. Oh, cool. Valerie says that Lindsay, the frugal crafter, used color pencil and Yupo paper about a week ago and was surprised at how well the Yupo did. Yeah, Ellen and I were talking about that not too long ago, and I think I said that I'll give it a go, because Ellen says the Prismacolor pencils work pretty well on the Yupo paper. Chestnut. Cinnamon. Okay, let's blend that in. Luella says, I hope you do the Yupa paper with the Faber-Castell pit pens again. I got the full set after your boxer and they have been sitting here ever since. Okay, we'll do one soon. I haven't heard of Terra Skin before, not sure what that is. I agree with Maureen. Don't wait on me, Luella. Give it a go. The boxer one is in real time as well, so you could use a different image but try and still follow the same technique. Okay, using orange-ish yellow, number 031. Too yellow. Bye, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Okay, using silver gray. Using charcoal gray. Silver grey again. Chestnut. This always takes so much longer than you think. I just want to be done with this already. Okay. Charcoal grey. Colored Pencil magazine is on here. Hello. You're saying we are loving these live workshops and thankful for your expertise and guidance for colored pencil artists all over the world. It looks fabulous. Oh, thank you so much. Just a bit of extra encouragement that I needed, because this one has been taking a fair bit longer than I expected. And it is my utmost pleasure to do this. I think it's a great live stream to have because others can participate and enter their drawings. So I think more people have a higher incentive to draw something if they could possibly get something else out of it because of the time that they have to put into it. So it makes sense. guys. It's great to watch on Amazon Fire TV. Oh, I'm glad my face isn't on there anymore. So I'm assuming it's Sally that's on here. You made my day, thank you. So using the cinnamon. Christy, there you go. I think you also got that extra bit of encouragement to push through with your chocolates. Oh, why, Obadiah? This one's quite small. It is... Where's my ruler? I'll show you. It is about 5.3 inches by 3.3. And then in centimeters, it is about 14.5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. So a bit bigger than a postcard, I guess. Okay, chestnuts. Sally is so sweet as well. So if you want to check out, for a lot of you are on Patreon already, so just have a look at their Patreon page. They give you sneak peeks of the challenge ahead of time, and any information those on Patreon would get them first before those on Facebook. So it's worth following them there. I haven't been recording this on the camera, I've just been doing these lives. Because the first one didn't work out, so ever since then I just didn't record the rest on the other camera. So thank you, I appreciate the camera checks, but not needed for this one. I know, I love March's challenge photo as well, and I know exactly how I'm going to do that one. So, Sally, did you take the photos, this photo and the photo of the tennis shoes? The tennis shoes are definitely going to be a very fun one to do. So a little bit earlier I think I spoke about it, and I said I was going to use watercolor pencils as an underpainting and then use the regular pencils on top of that. Hey, Fear. Using the charcoal grey. Using umber. Yeah, I'm jumping from chocolate to chocolate. At some part of the drawing I feel like doing one chocolate at a time, and then I change my mind and then I jump from chocolate to chocolate, so it's just not something I can tell you up front. It's just something that happens as you progress. Oh, cool. So Sally did take the photos. Sally is the creator and founder of Color Pencil magazine, and we asked her about whether she took the photos of the tennis shoes, and she said, yes, I did. Here is what I wrote in the discussion thread on Flickr. So I was sitting there thinking about the next challenge photo when I look down and see my daughter's tennis shoes sitting there, perfectly overlapping each other with shoelaces twirling, begging to be drawn. Oh, perfect. I love that. It's amazing how things come to you at the time that you require the information. Okay, some blending. I cannot wait to do the highlights on the tray. I think it's really gonna make it come together. Colored Pencil Magazine says the image you are drawing now was inspired by Valentine's Day and lace being used in the tutorial in the same issue by Christina Lottie. Oh, cool! I have that issue. Am I allowed to show everybody? I might just go see what Christina Lottie did. So this was the February issue. I might zoom out just there. This was the February issue. And the lacing that Sally's talking about was this. So tulips and lace. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, if you want to know how to draw the lacing with the chocolates, then there is a proper step-by-step tutorial in here. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, Christina Iotti, or Iotti? I wonder how you would say that. Yeah, lots of useful information in this magazine, and there's the challenge image that we're drawing now. Thanks for sharing that. It's always nice knowing why people decide to do things. So that worked out perfect. I think the day that I started this, I didn't have the magazine yet. Because I started on the 1st of February. Oh, there's an annoying little fly here. So I haven't even had the opportunity to look through the magazine properly. But yeah, if you're into colored pencils, then it is the most useful magazine, because there's, I mean, you get free tutorials, you get free tips and tricks. You found out which art stores are having like discount sales on things. It's all the information you're looking for. Go away, you silly fly. That's one thing you guys in the US don't have to worry about, that you do not have to struggle with flies like the Australians do. There's no escaping them. I agree, Maureen. There's something about having a physical copy of a magazine. So I bought the digital copy for a long time, and then I was like, no, I want to actually have the books there to grab. Have them in a space where you can just look at them whenever. Whereas you wouldn't do it if you don't see the magazines lying around. You're less likely to open them from your digital copy. Well, sometimes you have a moment where you're having some tea and you're like, what can I do while I'm having my tea? It's quiet. Look through a magazine. There's just something about having a physical copy. Something you can touch. Yes, that's right. Also, the other great thing that the magazine has is all the pencil reviews done by Harry from the Art Gear Guide. He's very thorough, and he goes through every detail. The light fastness, how you can get your hands on it. He gives you a demonstration or shows you what he's created using them, so that he can give you proper feedback. So, very, very useful. Yeah, that's right. Lisa's got Inktense pencils and blocks, and it's her art is on them as well. I'm pretty sure it's the Inktense ones that her art's on the tin. With dolphins. So I think with the new Derwent pencils, I'm gonna wait a little bit before I get them. It's just the price right now is a bit crazy. I'm realizing how quiet I'm getting. It's just because I'm concentrating. Hi May, welcome. Okay, using the hazel. Using the silver gray. It look light and washed out. Yeah, see, that's the thing I'm struggling with my live stream, is that on my laptop where I'm streaming from, it looks fine, but on my Mac screen, it doesn't either. It also looks a bit washed out. See if that's gonna help a little, but I don't know. The contrast is very high on that now, so the light on my fingers looks weird. Okay, I'm gonna get on to doing the trays, and then I'll do the touch-ups on the chocolates later. So the stream has gone on for quite a long time, and I sort of want to get it done now. Let's just blend this part of the tray. It's so weird, like I come in with the intention of doing the color pencil magazine challenge, and that's why I do it so small, because the intent is to do it within 3, 4, maybe 5 hours max, but it just it ends up always being a lot longer. And that is how it is with colored pencils. Okay, let's do the tray. So I want to use the titanium white colored pencil powder blender. Oh, not powder blender, sorry, the titanium white by brush and pencil. Okay, so I put some in the lid. Oh, you can't even see that. See, that annoys me with the live streams. So I'll show you what the default settings look like. See, that's the default, which is very dark. And I have so much light here. So I have to up the brightness. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be. I'm sorry, I don't have time to fiddle with that right now. Okay, so I have a little lid over here, so I'm going to add water in there. Just like that. And then from the water in my brush, I'm just gonna, from the water, dip my brush in and then just mix some in. Now you don't need to put as much in the lid as I did. These are still thick pieces from the last time because I just put way too much in there. And then I put way too much water in there. But you can just reactivate that. So you can choose if you want to use a thicker blend, so you can mix it with the titanium, the touch-up texture. It's like, looks like it's in a little nail polish bottle. So you can add touch-up texture, or you can add water if you want to have a little bit more control with the opacity and the thickness of it. That makes sense. So it's nice. You can make it very light first. Make sure that you're placing it right. And what I love about this stuff is that you can go over it with colored pencils if you've made an area too light. Like for instance, I went a bit too far over the edge there. Oh no, this doesn't just work on sanded paper. You could use this on any paper. It's the powder blender I think that works best on sanded paper. But the titanium white you can use on anything. Mm. Okay, I'll show you what I'm going to do next, and then I'm going to end the stream and call it a day. So this will be the last live stream for this. I'm just going to finish off the rest on my own. But what I do now is I get a nice sharp pencil, maybe the Umber 049, and then you could just make some of these lines a little bit more subtle and a little bit more defined. If you've overworked an area, you can go over it with your pencils. Alrighty, I think you guys get the idea. So that is it. That's part 3 of this tutorial. So pretty much I'm going to keep working on the tray, sort of like I did now, and probably use nice sharp pencils to define the creases in the tray as well. And then those sort of crayon-y looks I would blend smooth with a very fine brush using my solvent, so that it doesn't look so grainy in between those highlighted parts of the tray. And yeah, so I'll carry on like that until it is finished, and I will be doing that in my own time. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure, and it was so nice to have Color Pencil Magazine pop on and say hello as well. Thank you very much, Sally. And I will see you guys later in the week. I'm going to be later in the week I only have some live stream tutorial classes for my students. I don't think I have any live streams on my YouTube channel for the public next week. But if you want to keep up to date with that, just join my mailing list on my website, and you'll be able to get an email half an hour before I go live. Then I'll let you guys know. But thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!